Assalamu alaikum and good evening. You are watching Hums Up TV and I am Muneeb Hamid with the news. Kashmir Solidarity Day, President Mamnoon Hussain links peace to Kashmir resolution. President Mamnoon Hussain has said the dream of peace and prosperity in the region will remain elusive without resolving the dispute of Jammu and Kashmir. In his message to the nation on Kashmir Solidarity Day annually observed on February 5, the President called upon the international community to play its due role in seeking an end to the brutalities, violations of human rights and the reign of terror unleashed by Indian forces. The President also sought the world community's role in forcing India to fulfill the promises it made with the people of Jammu and Kashmir and the international community 70 years ago. India may target CPEC installations, Interior Ministry tells Gilgit-Baltistan. Ministry of Interior has informed the Gilgit-Baltistan's Home Department that India has made a plan to attack the installations of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor in a bid to sabotage the multi-billion mega project. The ministry has issued directives for making foolproof security arrangements to avoid any untoward incident. An official of the Home Department on condition of anonymity told on Saturday that the department had received a letter from the Federal Interior Ministry recently in which it had warned of possible terrorist attacks on CPEC route. He said the letter number 221/IS 2018 January 28 claimed that India had sent 400 Muslim youngsters to Afghanistan for receiving training to become and carry out attacks on CPEC installations, including bridges at Karakoram Highway and other important points on CPEC route. 4 National Directorate of Security members among 12 arrested during raid on Afghan refugee camp. Security forces have arrested 12 suspects, including 4 alleged members of Afghanistan's secret agency National Directorate of Security during a search operation conducted in Surkhab area of Pishin district, according to official sources. They said here on Sunday that the search operations was conducted by Levi's personnel in the Surkhab Afghan refugee camp and its adjacent areas on the night between Saturday and Sunday. We have arrested 4 suspected members of NDS and recovered Afghan passports from their possession, a Levi's official said. He said the arrested people had been shifted to an unspecified location for interrogation. New United States policy increases nuclear risks, warns experts. The new U.S. nuclear strategy released this weekend calls for developing a ground-launched intermediate-range cruise missile to counter a similar Russian weapon, U.S. officials said. The deployment of these weapons violates the 1987 Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty between Moscow and Washington, which calls for the elimination of their intermediate and shorter-range missiles. The Trump administration's first nuclear posture review, NPR 2018, also confirms a Russian claim that it had made the world's most powerful nuclear called Canyon. Documents leaked in Moscow describe Canyon as a nuclear-armed autonomous torpedo capable of traveling 10,000 kilometers with a 100 megaton thermonuclear weapon as its payload. That's at least twice as powerful as any nuclear weapon ever tested. U.S. officials say that Washington has been forced to develop its own missiles to counter the threat posed by this new Russian weapon. North Korea's ceremonial head of state to visit South. North Korea's ceremonial head of state will visit the South this week in connection with the Winter Olympics, Seoul said on Sunday. The trip by Kim Jong-nam will be the diplomatic high point of the rapprochement between the two Koreas triggered by the Pyeongchang Games in South, which have their opening ceremony on Friday. Tensions spiraled last year as the North carried out multiple weapon tests, including intercontinental ballistic missiles it says are capable of reaching the mainland United States and its most powerful nuclear blight to date. For months, it ignored Seoul's entreaties to take part in Peace Olympics until leader Kim Jong-un indicated his willingness to do so in his New Year's speech. That set off a rapid series of meetings which saw the two agree to march together in the opening ceremony and form a unified women's ice hockey team, their first for 27 years. Thousands of Greeks protest over Macedonia name compromise. Tens of thousands of Greeks staged a mass rally in Athens on Sunday, urging the government not to compromise in a festering name row with neighboring Macedonia. Organizers claim some 1.5 million people from across Greece and the Greek diaspora turned out to express their opposition to attempts by Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras' government to broker a deal. Police put the figure at around 140,000 as a huge Greek flag flew over central Syntagma Square from atop a crane. Greeks from all over the country and abroad chanted, "Hands off Macedonia. Macedonia is Greek, and we won't leave until we are vindicated." Amongst those in the cross-generated crowd were former Prime Minister Antonis Samaras, who was Foreign Minister when the name row began in 1991, in addition to mayors, senior clerics, army officers and monks. Maldives in turmoil as President Apex Court go on warpath. The Supreme Court in the Maldives is trying to impeach President Abdullah Yameen for not obeying its order to release jailed opposition leaders, the Attorney General said on Sunday, warning of further instability in the Indian Ocean nation. The Maldives, best known for its luxury resorts, has been in a political crisis since the top court threw out terrorism convictions last week against former President Mohamed Nasheed and others who have been trying to oust the president for years. Mr. Yameen has faced calls at home and from the United States and India, among other nations, to heed the court decision on Mr. Nasheed, the island's first democratically elected president, and the others, but so far has dug in his heels. Iraq names 60 most wanted militants and Baathists. Iraqi security services on Sunday published the names of 60 people wanted on suspicion of belonging to the militant Islamic State group, Al-Qaeda, or the Ba'ath Party of the late dictator Saddam Hussein. The list includes the name of Saddam's daughter, Raghad, who lives in Jordan. It also features 28 suspected IS jihadists, 12 from Al-Qaeda and 20 Baathists, giving details of the roles they allegedly played in their organizations, crimes of which they are suspected, and in most cases photographs. All are Iraqis apart from Man Bashar, a Lebanese man accused of recruiting fellow citizens to fight in Iraq. It's an old story that dates back to the American invasion of Iraq when we were partisans of the Iraqi resistance, Bashar said. Yes, we carried out activities against the American occupation. The name of elusive IS head Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is absent from the list. A senior security official declined to explain why. These are the terrorists most wanted by the judicial authorities and security services, the official said. This is the first time we published these names, which until now were secret. The IS fighters the document lists are accused of fighting in Iraq's second city, Mosul, and the surrounding province of Nineveh, as well as the provinces of Kirkuk, Diyala, and Anbar. 7 feared dead in an air raid on police building in Yemen. An air raid hit the police criminal investigations unit in Yemen's rebel-held capital on Sunday as insurgents battled the government backed by a Saudi-led coalition for control of the country. The 4-story building and a line of police cars parked outside were largely destroyed in the attack. The Iran-backed Houthi rebels blamed the attack on the Saudi-led military coalition that has been fighting to prop up the Yemeni government since March 2015. Rebel-run Yemeni media said 7 people were killed and 58 wounded in the Sunday attack. The toll could not be independently confirmed. Chahal sends South Africa reeling as India complete crushing win. Leg spinner Yuzvendra Chahal took career best figures as India cruised to a thumping 9-wicket victory over a woeful South Africa in their second one-day international on Sunday, though their moment of triumph was reduced to a farce by the umpires. Aleem Dar and Adrian Holt stuck to the rules and called for a lunch break within the tourists, needing just 2 runs for victory at the Super Sports Park. That ensured the final act was played out 40 minutes later in front of a sparse crowd, a decision that left both teams bemused. Chahal finished with 5-22 in 8.2 overs, ripping through the middle order as India won the toss and skittled their hosts for 118. South Africa's lowest total in home ODI matches. And now the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country. That's all for now. For more news and updates, keep watching Hums Up TV. Take care. Please subscribe to Hums Up TV and hit the notification icon on the screen to get the latest updates of our channel. Thank you for watching Hums Up TV.